It's Transgender Day of Visibility, and I figured I'd do a video about my experiences. I don't really have much to say other than I just want to be visible. I want people to see me. I am a transgender man. I've been living in this iteration of myself for, I don't know, it's been a long time. 10 years maybe, but off and on have been on hormone replacement therapy because of various things. Like the first few times I was on hormone replacement therapy, I didn't have a lot of support, and I was doing it on my own, and it was really scary, and the changes were not they were unsettling, and people's reactions to me changed almost immediately, and I stopped a few times. And then the last, what has it been, 3 years maybe, yeah, 3 years I've been on testosterone for, consistently taking my dosage, although I take a lower dosage than normal because than most people do, rather, because testosterone raises my blood pressure, so I have to be really cognizant of that, and keep it on the lower end. But I'm in the the correct range for male testosterone levels, but so it doesn't matter. But regardless, it's been a journey. It's been really challenging. I'm lucky enough to live in California, where I have a fair amount of support. I've been with Kaiser Permanente as an insurance provider this entire time, so all of my care has been under them, and I would say it hasn't been great. It has not been great cover. It hasn't been great in terms of like the overall coverage is fine, but if you need a lot of support and you don't know the things that you need, you're gonna get run over, because a lot of the staff there don't have trans education, and you're gonna be educating your medical providers, and they don't have a really great internal system. So like in the system, my name is still my legal name because I haven't changed it. Well, I did change it actually recently, but I didn't change it until recently. So for a long time, my government name was in there, and they had my real name, but they wouldn't always reference it. Like it doesn't come up right away, and so that was really frustrating. Being misgendered and or being sent to places for trans care that were under cisgender departments. So like I remember I had to go to a a meeting to, or a appointment to see about getting a top surgery revision, and they sent me to a breast cancer clinic within Kaiser. And it's like, why would you send a trans man to a breast cancer clinic? Makes no sense. I arrived and people were very confused, and they didn't know I was coming, and I was just like, wow, you didn't even like prep your team about me arriving here. So that's really great. That makes me feel real awesome. So I've had lots of interactions like that where it just seemed really inappropriate, and information was not shared or updated, and I use their pharmacy for my medication, and I've had many issues with that as well. So that's another, I could probably make a video about that, about like, yeah, you have access to medication and the things that you need, but you're always like fighting for it. It's always a challenge. So that's been hard, but I've been really lucky in my life in that I've had, for the most part, most of my family, although they've been pretty slow to accept everything, but for the most part, I've had family and friends embrace who I am, and I've had really no issues, even in the work. So I was really smart in that I work for companies. I make it a point to work for companies that are queer friendly, essentially LGBTQ plus friendly, and at least in management, if not, can't say for individual people, but at least in terms of the company policies and things like that. So my last company was very comfortable with me transitioning on the job, I was already going by my name anyway, so it was more of like social transition to medical transition there, and it was fine. No one had any issues with it, and I didn't really come out. I kind of came out when I did this like training, but like I didn't have any issues, and most people knew, and I didn't care. And then yeah, I was super easy, and I'm really grateful for that. Then I've, at my new company, it's not been an issue. I've come out to a couple of people. Some people know. I think it's pretty obvious, but some people don't, and that's fine. And I feel very safe where I'm at. So I am very, very grateful and to have employment. Especially, I'm a recruiter, and being a recruiter right now is like scary because the market's not great, and a lot of recruiting teams are being laid off right now. So I'm very grateful that I have a fantastic team, a very, very supporting team, and right now I have a job, and I should continue to have a job at least, I would say, through the summer. Although I could see, things change, and I could see myself being, terminated from this job as well if things went another direction. So you're never safe. So things to think about in terms of like my visibility in the world is also thinking about like I need to have more security in my life. That's one. And then two is telling my story. So I'm like, okay, I want to tell my story. My great uncle passed away earlier this year, and he was like I don't even want to call it a patriarch or matriarch. Like they were the primary queer person in the family, and had a lot of personality, had a lot of history, lived in San Francisco and Oakland, during the 70s and 80s, or the 80s rather, or 80s and 90s, and really experienced, did drag, almost transitioned even, but they had a lot of life, and there's no information really about them out in the world other than maybe like what the family knows and maybe like a news article here and there, but like there's no information, there's no history, there's no posterity, and I want to have some posterity. I don't plan on having children. Who's gonna fucking know who I am once I die? No one. And if once I die, I would rather, I have told my story rather than other people. It's cool if other people have a version of my story, but it's like I want to be able to say that this was my story, and so here I am, putting myself out here, and that's part of it. And then also the other part is like I need to start networking and pushing myself to start different types of opportunities so that I can make other opportunities in my life, because I don't want to be stuck losing my job and then not having anything else. So like, there's a lot of things that could come from being more visible and putting myself out there in the world. And I'm like, well, let's just try. Let's just do this. So that's what I'm gonna do. My name's Nick. I'm a transgender man. I'm not gonna say my age, but I am old, and I live in the Bay Area, and my career right now is recruiting, and I work in agriculture right now, and the future in terms of like things that I'm interested in, I love food. I love women's basketball specifically. I love YouTube, and I'm a weirdo. Like I got a lot of weird interests, and I'm not like everybody else, and I think that's very cool in itself. And I have things to say, and yeah, I want to share it with the world. So that's why I'm here. I'm gonna try to put myself out here more. I'm gonna try to post more. I often will post things and then just like private it or delete it because I don't know, I get weird. But I really don't want to do that anymore. I want to just put things out and just be like, this is it. And if people watch it, that's great. And if they don't, they don't. But I have a lot to share. There's a lot in this brain and people have said this to me, like, wow, what's going on in your brain? And I'm like, I have so much information in here, but I have nothing to use it for. I have nowhere, nothing to, outside of work. Like I don't use all of this education and information that I have in my brain, and I want to share it. And yeah, and that's why I'm here. I want to help other people. I mean, I think that's the reason why I love being a recruiter. It's not that I love the job functions of recruiting. I love helping people find their next placement in life, their next company, their next role, their next career path. I love helping people achieve the goals in terms of helping their livelihood. That's what gets me going. So I would love to use this, whatever knowledge that I have, to help other people continue to do that. And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I think, yeah, I'll post this, and the next video I'll post will probably be about basketball because I love basketball. Today is February 31st. It is Final Four for the women's NCAA tournament, and it's going to be LSU versus Virginia Tech at 4 o'clock, and then at 6 o'clock, 6:30 is going to be South Carolina versus Iowa State? No, Iowa, just Iowa. So yeah, looking forward to that. It's gonna be righteous. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be raucous. I'm home alone today, so I'm yelling at my computer screen alone, but that's okay. I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to talk about it after the game. I'll also talk about my feelings and how I feel about it, and the whole situation, and yeah, I'm just gonna share. I'm gonna share. I don't know how I feel about the comment section. I feel that comment sections are a great place for people to share their unwanted opinions. It's nice to make communities, but a lot of times people use it as a way to incite violence, verbal violence, emotional violence, and especially for queer people. And the truth of the matter is, like, the people leaving those really mean and crazy comments are often children. It's like, I would say like 10 to 16, 17-year olds are the people who are leaving these comments. So it's children. It's fucking children, y'all. Like, these teenagers are awful. And, that's fine. They gotta learn somehow, but they're left unsupervised, and they have these access to the internet, and they are the reason why there's been so much hate in the world, because those things aren't monitored. Children aren't monitored. They're, oh my god, don't get me on public education and like how we treat teenagers, and so sad. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know how much I'm gonna interact with the comment section. I'll probably leave it open so people can post there, but this is for me. There are literally millions of YouTube channels that people can communicate with, can interact with, can leave comments, and people are really open to that. But I've been following YouTube for 15 plus years, and I've seen what the comment section has done to people, and I'm not about that life, and I don't fucking care. I don't need it. I don't need it. And if it becomes a thing, I will turn off the comment section. I don't care. I'm here to share, and that's great if you want to come along in that journey. But I am not here for negativity. I'm not here for people's unwanted opinions. If I ask a question, that's great. But if I don't ask a question, why are you sharing your opinion? Like, put it in your journal. That's for you. Like, that's a reflection on yourself. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can just turn off the video. That is an option, just go to the next one. So, but anywho, that's me. This is Nick. So, I'll see you all around.